into that, we have to copy this item. We need to configure that. After that, we need to access document.get element by ID. So that is list. Into that append child li. We need to add that. That's how we need to do. This is how JavaScript can manage the interactions, means repeating and adding into any collection. And here, this looks more better and very simple. This looks more better and simple. That means you can simply use an iterator and make that repeat and add that collection into it. So Angular uses a very simple technique of repeating HTML elements. It can even dynamically create them and add them to the existing elements. For example, suppose here instead of ordered list, I will keep another heading, choose a category. Here I am designing a select. And let's keep a class as a form control. Okay. I want an option. I need to generate this option for every item present in the collection. Simple. I can use ngFor. ngFor let item of collection. Collection is categories. So, and this option should print that item. That's it. That means you can see that dynamically an option is generated. You can see a drop down contains the options dynamically. You can choose them. That means a drop down is created. You can directly choose the items from the drop down. That means it is very simple to handle these kind of options. If there is complex data, then how we can present that, we will see. This is important. This is the advantage. Dynamically, when you want to read the data from any collection and add into the collection, this is very much required. So iterator and repeater, it is repeating this. For example, so it can be used everywhere. For example, I am designing a navigation bar. Usually, if I am designing a navigation bar, so here I will keep a heading, some Amazon shopping. And below this, I have a div. In this div, I am defining a class as now. I will give as so suppose now bar. So now bars are also there. Temporarily, I will use a now option, just okay. So now in this now, I need another div. So, or I will keep an anchor. This anchor so uses a class as a now item. And I want this anchor to repeat. So then here in this anchor, I am using ngFor and let item of categories like this. And here the text, here we will define inside the anchor text. Inside the anchor text, we will use an item. So that means here we are designing a now bar, now item, and a now item will be generated. You can see here like this. So that means now item requires a now text requires now tabs. We can configure that. For example, this I can give in an ordered list. Suppose instead of div, keep an ordered list. or unordered list, right? Ordered list. In that a list item, and we will repeat that list item instead of this. That means I will keep this anchor. I will keep this anchor inside list item. That means li. And here li will repeat. And inside the li, I will keep this. I will keep this anchor element. Anchor element. Usually, that's what actually navigation here, and it has to get that in a same way. But anchors, these are not having any link, so that we can later use href. So href. So here, yeah, better we will use this as nav item. Yeah, list item as nav item. And href is equal to initially empty hash. That's, and you can see it will be like this. You know alignments, how we can define justifying the alignments, so we can give the spaces and options, because this is defined with now item, now text, now, and we can use so in now link, now tabs, we have options how we can present combinations, you know. So this is represented as an class as nav link, actually. Nav link. That means it just have a behavior of a navigation link. You can see some spaces will come now. You can see we have electronics, footwear, fashion. This all bootstrap, actually, presentation, how you want. So important is you can use this. You can use this over any element which needs to be repeated, but have to use a different value from a collection. It has to repeat and use the value from the collection. That is, from by using an iterator, you can do that. That makes the presentations more simplified, easy. So whenever, if I add one more category here, when I am adding one more category here, suppose I'm adding one more category here. So here I am adding one more category. So then what happens is some mobiles, and and you can see when I add one more category, and automatically it updates everywhere. Updates everywhere. So the iterator allows you to do that. That is what actually ngFor, the purpose of ngFor. You can do this on various elements that we will see now. We will discuss about that. So the basic syntax and the basic example is this. So let's take a basic example first. So how do we do that? First, add a new component, ng generate component. So we created for demo hyphen skip test equal to true. Okay. And we need to go to, so for demo dot component dot ts. In for demo component dot ts, so we made this modification. That means only only this collection is present. And for demo dot component dot html, in the html we are using the various presentations here. We are using various presentations. So this is one for navigation bar. I used a repeater. Another for ordered list, I am using a repeater. Another for drop down, I am using a repeater. Right? You can generate based on any specific iteration. We can generate. We will see different options how to manage them. This is the first basic example how we can create an iteration and repeat the HTML element. And next important is actually we can use, you can use nested. That means here